There we go. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to our first of our new talk series. We're having that between now and Christmas, and who knows, it might go beyond, of Sarah and me. And today we're talking to Arya Ingvorsen. Is that right, Arya? Have I said it right?
Yeah, that's fine. That's perfect.
How do you say it?
Arya Ingvorsen.
Yeah, okay, it was right. But
Yeah.
because sometimes people say that and they're just being polite, you know. It is a Danish name, is that right?
Ingvorsen's Danish and Arya's Sanskrit, but it's also Finnish. So,
Wow. You're multi-global, aren't you? Ing, he's a god, Ing. He's like a fertility
right.
sort of energy, blessing the fields and all that. He's an aspect of Frey or Frey, who's sort of like a Norse sun god. So that's quite a powerful name you've got there. Yeah. So who have we got? Anybody? Anybody saying hello yet? There's Belinda. Hello, Belinda. Hello, Sergio. It's lovely to see you. So, let's just bring ourselves into a nice bit of Sarah space since it's all about Sarah today. So, if you're watching or listening and you can close your eyes safely, take a deep breath. Let's do that now. And we'll just imagine that we're coming into a sacred circle together where we're going to spend some minutes together today. And as we come into this lovely sacred circle, we invite Sarah right into the centre of our sacred circle, and she comes in with her beautiful energy. And as she does that, she grounds this sacred space, and at the same time she expands it upwards. So we're opening up to the heavens above and to the beautiful, beautiful earth below, which helps us come into oneness. Helps us come into a place of being centered and balanced. And just feel the day just slipping away as we come into a time outside of time, just for these few moments and minutes together that we're going to have now. Oh, that's better. I've been running around a lot today, Arya. I don't know about you. It's nice to come into that space.
It is nice.
So, I had this brainwave of doing these talks because I spend a lot of my time teaching about Sarah and writing and posting. I don't get that much time to actually talk to other people about her. And I know that you have been working with Sarah for quite a long time now. So Arya, she's a Reiki master, shamanic practitioner, clinical hypnotherapist, and a holistic teacher. And how long have you been working with Sarah now? Do you know?
I was trying to think. It seems to have been forever, but it obviously hasn't been forever. I don't know, 4 or 5 years maybe. And she's sort of just become more and more important in my work. And so before it was just a little bit, but now she's there all the time.
Yeah. Where did it start? Where did it start for you? Where did she sort of pop up?
I think there might have been something that Edwin Courtney said years ago in one of his sessions, and she sort of she came up then, and I liked the sound of her. And then I remembered you did some introductory courses, and I liked the sound and the feel of her even more. But but for me, I just love the balance that she brings, and the divine masculine and the divine feminine together. So that's for me seems very, very right. So
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, Edwin did a channeling. I still have it somewhere. He did a channeling where he mentioned Sarah in it. I think it was actually about Mary Magdalene, and this is like years and years ago now. And I'd done my priestess training, and I read it, and I thought, oh, fancy that. Never heard of her, and wasn't really interested, to be honest. And then after I'd been to Hawaii, I came back and was teaching a workshop working with the earth energies there. And then she came through in one of the channelings that I did. And that was it. It was like she never left. But I have found that the things that really mean the most to me that I work with, because it's the same like with Nordic shamanism, with the Seidr work, I love it. I had no interest in it like prior to it actually coming up. It seems to be like these things are so deeply buried in my subconscious that I have no sense of them at all until I'm suddenly hit over the head with it, and then I go, God, where did that come from? It's really,
I think they've been there all the time, and we just become aware that suddenly our attention is called to an energy such as hers.
yeah, that's it. And I can just sort of, if I imagine like that timeline with all the destiny points, it was just like, it was always fated to happen there. It's just that they weren't going to tell me about it until I needed to know. Yeah, they didn't want to give me any warning in case I tried to get away from it. So, but yeah, there's a few people working with Sarah now, which is really nice to see, because when I started back in 2006, I couldn't find anybody. I couldn't find anybody else. And I do find that people work with her in quite different ways, which is fabulous, because like her energy is so sort of vast. No one person can kind of do the whole thing.
But I think so. When I'm working with clients, each client that I run a healing session for is, as you know, they're unique and they have their individual needs and requirements. And she's different with each of them. And even though you might go through a similar procedure, how she manifests is different. And she gave me in a session something which we might share if we do a meditation, so I won't go into it too much, but she gave me a little bit of a healing technique. And I thought, oh, this is lovely. And then I tried it on the next client, and she changed it completely again. So it's just very interesting how she comes through and how she changes things. So I think we're all working with her in a different way, because she's adapting to us, or we're adapting to each other, and then to the people that we go on to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. And I find she's just so empowering. It's all about like making us be more of our divine selves, really. It's not even about her when she comes in. It's all about us and making us really fantastic.
Yeah. I just wanted to share something with sort of whoever's listening or watching, really, that so I trained first years ago as an aromatherapist, and then I did all various different things with angels and crystals, out as we all do, and then into Reiki and shamanic healing and tarot, and you're always developing new things. But I'm going to lose the point of what I was going to say here now. I mean, so it's interesting. So a lot of clients might come to me for one thing, like Reiki, for example, and they get a lot of Sarah, and some of them are saying, oh, that's interesting, that's felt different to the last time we worked together. And the energy is different, and sometimes she blends her energy with me when I'm with the Reiki, and then sometimes it's just her and her angels working. So I never know how it's going to be. She's sort of just in charge of it when she comes along. But what's most fantastic is the difference that people feel. So they tell me that they feel that her energy or the healing energy that they've received is gentler, but it's much more powerful. So they're likely to be in tears, for example, because it's been so profound for them. So I mean, every time she works with me, I'm always amazed by what comes out and the results that I have with clients. So
yeah, yeah, and that particular quality she has of like being really gentle,
yes,
but it's really powerful.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's. I mean, and she's not always like that. Sometimes she can be really in your face and a bit of an old hag, to be honest. But I think that sort of comes later in one's journey with her, to be honest. I think she starts off with the sort of that gentle but powerful aspect. That is really, really interesting how she manages to pull that one off. I'm not quite sure how that can be done, but
no, and it's often when people have deep-seated stuff going on that she uses that sort of gentle power.
Yeah. So anybody who's listening who, you know, hasn't worked with Sarah, or particularly like with me or anything like that, a few years ago I started like organising the healing energies that Sarah had taught me or showed me into a healing system. And this is what Arya is talking about. And it's a healing system that you get initiated into, like Reiki. And there's, like, Sarah has her own vibration of the violet flame. There's an angelic energy. She has her own host of angels, which is quite, you know, that's quite something. And then she has this energy. I haven't, you know, I'm not the greatest wordsmith. The Americans are absolutely fabulous at naming things. I don't have that skill, I'll be honest. But her green energy, it's a manifesting energy, it's a healing energy, it's like a life force energy, and it is like that energy of nature, particularly of spring, when everything is just like bursting forth. But I have yet to come up with one word to describe that, so I just call it her green energy.
I'm not sure that one word exists.
Oh, I bet I'll know someone. You know, I mean, these are, you know, some people are just amazing. You know, you hear them, they go, oh, there's something, and you go, oh wow, that's so amazing. Why did I never think of that? You know, so yeah. One day we'll get a word for it. But oh yeah, I love working with healing energies. But yeah, it doesn't always come through for every person, and I think it also depends on, it's not about how advanced you are necessarily, but more about where you are on the journey and whether you need her to kind of come in, because she, you know, I personally, I find her quite evolutionary. It's like she comes in for those moments where you're going through, like, you need a bit of a paradigm shift, I suppose. I don't know if you experience her like that, Arya.
Yeah, I think she's quite transformational. And the other thing is, you don't need a lot of her energy because it is so powerful. And so a little goes a long way. So that's why during one of my sessions, you know, I can be doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and then Sarah's section comes in, and I never know where it's going to come in. She sort of dictates or lets me know, so I intuit when her energy is there at play. But sometimes she's there all the time. But working in different ways, so I've got to keep up.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, because I mean, whatever stage I'm talking about Sarah at, there's always 25 new things coming in that I'm in the process of developing, you know. So it's like she does really keep me busy. I mean, when I started working with her energies, I just sort of took it on trust and faith. I didn't really know what any of it meant and what it was going to be about. And the same with the healing system. And I mean, sort of where I've sort of, but again, you know, these things are always shifting and changing and transforming. I might say something completely different in 2 years. But where I am with it now is really that angelic energy that you work with. in her healing system, it feels like we're really bringing through like really powerful matrices and patterns from our higher selves. It's almost like manifesting that divine energy of our higher selves into our bodies, and then she's weaving it in. So really it's a system of enlightenment, which sounds a bit of a grand thing to say, but that is really how it appears to me, actually. But it's like, you know, it's one piece at a time, and then there's a whole load of work that each person has to do to then process it, I guess.
And her energy keeps on working, doesn't it, after you've sort of been in contact with her. So
yeah,
it doesn't just stop.
No. How do you feel she's personally sort of affected you, like on your journey?
I think she's balanced me quite a lot, and I wouldn't say I'm the sort of person that's naturally lacking in confidence, but she's given me a lot of confidence, but in a grounded way, which is probably what I needed. And I just love what she does in so many different ways. So like embracing that part of your shadow self, but she's very fluid, so you go back in time and forward in time. And when I know you can in other systems, but the way you do it with her is just very unique to her, and going back to that element of gentle but powerful. And she's, I think you can be very creative with her energy, so it gives you sort of confidence in your own creativity as well. In that, you know, one day you're doing this with her and you think, okay, I've learned this now, and then it's completely changed the next day. You think, no, I didn't learn it, it's something new now. But there's always the commonalities of the gentleness, the powerful healing, the deep-rooted healing that's sort of quite profound. And because of the different elements, like her violet flame and like her angels and like her green grounding energy that's renewable as well, there's always something that you can take somewhere along the line that's doing a good job.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that actually, because you know, as I've got older, I've realised I am quite a creative person. Whereas when I was younger, I wasn't in touch with that. I didn't know, because I was struggling too much with, you know, so many blocks and depression and just life misery of, you know, trying to deal with a lot of problems. And now, you know, now I realise I'm incredibly creative, and like there's always like new things coming in, and I hadn't actually put that together with Sarah. I just sort of thought, oh, you know, I've unblocked enough so that things can actually sort of flow in and out now. But that would really fit with that green energy, because it's life force, and of course that's just pure creativity, isn't it?
And if we're thinking about her for the new era, or a new era, that hopefully, because we all well need a new era, don't we? That green energy really comes in there, that and how it can change and be completely unique and different for whatever you need it to be.
Yeah. I can see there's quite a few comments coming in here. Let's have a look. Oh, Mihaela saying lovely hair, Rachel. Thank you, Mihaela. I read that comment out first, of course. I just had it done at the hairdressers. Yeah, the important one. Getting on to the important things. For people who are listening rather than watching, I've dip dyed my hair blue. Well, the hairdresser did it yesterday, and I've always had a secret longing for blue hair, and now my hair's gone grey. I can finally have it. So that's one advantage to having grey hair, is you can dye your, if you're brown, it doesn't really work putting these things on. So thank you very much, Mail. I'm very pleased with it. Maureen says, does this fit for a description of the green essence? Verdurous. Ooh. It's an adjective meaning rich in verdure, freshly green, verdant. Yes, it's a lovely word, but I don't think I would call it that, because it's not commonly known. So we'd all have to go to the dictionary and look it up. But I appreciate the sentiment there, Maureen. It's really nice that you can join us here. So just take a breath and bring Sarah in. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, the centering and the balancing, that's been a big thing. That's been a big thing for me. And I was thinking of that in one of the things you were just saying there, Arya, about that integration thing. Her energy integrates, and all of us have got different things that we need to integrate. So it's going to show up in a different way for everybody, even though like the process is completely, the same, because it's the same energy, it's the same integration energy. We've all lost or split off or are waiting to reclaim different parts of ourselves, and it's so useful.
And the way she clears is fantastic as well. So I can't say it's so different, but she can clear so many people's deep rooted issues, and it's sort of but with a light. I keep going back to this word profound, but with a light but profound touch. So yeah, all of it mixed up together is quite fantastic.
Yeah, it is. I completely agree with you. And I'm one of these people who get bored really, really easily. I mean,
Too.
my husband's really lucky that we're still married. But it's like I like to cook new things all the time, and I'm always changing things up. And I did sort of wonder when I started working with Sarah how long it would last, because I know what I'm like. It's like I work with things for a while, and then it's like, yes, that was great, but I need to do this now. But I have never got bored of Sarah.
Because she keeps evolving what she gives us, doesn't she? And as she's
Yeah.
coming through and manifesting here more and more, it's changing all the time. So you don't get the opportunity to get bored.
No, I've never had. And when I work with things, I do like to work really, really deeply. So I'll get taught something, and then I will take it as right to the bottom and right to the top as far as I can go. And then when I feel like I've done that, then I'm ready to do the next thing. But it was like when I kind of met Sarah, she started working with me with healing, because that's what I did, and that's what I knew. And then after a while, very gradually, after some years, it turned into the earth healing work. And I was really surprised, because I knew I had that in me, that working with like Gaia, and really needing to sort of help the mess that we're in, like environmentally and like ecologically. But I never, sort of imagined that Sarah, and at the start I did actually think, am I just making this up? Because I want her to be this thing. But I mean, now all these years later, it was like, no, it's amazing. I mean, I've just had some new like blessing work coming through for Sarah, she's also like given me like a priestess course for working with the earth energies, and I learn it by going and doing things myself, and then I teach them to other people. And she's just given me this new piece of work where you do a blessing on what I call like brown belt land. So in Britain, we have green belt land, which is sort of like pure land. And then you have brown belt land, which is, I'm not even quite sure of the definition of it, but it's...
old industrial land, isn't
it? It's old industrial land. So it's not like really, really awful. It's not toxic land or anything, but it's not great, And she's given me this blessing like ritual for like what I call brown belt land. So which just means land that it's not awful, but it's not great. And it really needs lifting up. And it's on a piece of land just, 10 minutes from where I live. And it's not been great for all the 8 years that I've lived here, and I've done this and I've done that. And oh my God, it just shifted it so amazingly. And I'm just like, I can't, I'll be teaching this next time we do it, Arya, in the next.
I look forward to it.
Yeah. And I was just like, God, I really couldn't make this up. you know, but I wouldn't have believed that it would be so amazing like that. She's so interested. And this is really what she's here for. She's here for the new earth. And obviously we're part of the new earth. You know, we're made of the earth. This is what she's here to do. And she can do really big things as well as small things. And by small things, I mean like us, like individually, you know, she can do massive things as well.
But you're right, we all are part of the living planet. Can I just take it back? Because I wanted to say something to some people who might just be interested in what the healing system is like. So I find it's really useful. You can use it on a hand. You can use her energy and her healing in a hands-on way. But also, she comes into a lot of my sort of hypnotherapy type clients, and no matter what they're going through, she's sort of giving me information about how to heal and clear. So that's just great that she works in many different ways. So I would think that if you are a healer, or if you're interested in becoming a healer, no matter what sort of your healing preferences, that you'll be able to work with her and you'll be able to make a real difference using her energy.
Yeah, and it is a really nice way to work with her through the healing system, isn't it? Because it's like they're so easy. It's so easy to do. It's like it doesn't take like, you know, years of study or anything. You get initiated, and then those energies are like available to you, and you can bring them into anything in your everyday life. To be honest,
it's also been really interesting hearing some of the other healers' experience. I mean, you said earlier how different she is with each of us, and all of it is just sort of fabulous how she's coming through in different ways for all of us.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. We love her.
And people are so intrigued. They've never heard of her. You know, who is this ascended master? What's an ascended master? Who's Sarah? And I sometimes think, you know, well, they're going to go off on one now when I start to tell them. But, you know, they really look very interested.
Yeah. 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 And I think things are opening up more and more now. I have to say I don't advertise that much about her, because if people aren't ready to connect with her energies, they don't get it. And when I have tried to advertise sort of more openly, I get a whole stream of like abuse of people going, oh, how could you say that? And, you know, because of course a lot of people consider it like a heretical thing to say. So I just don't go there really, and just sort of think if people are going to find her, they'll find her.
Yeah.
One way or the other. Because I mean, I have been putting stuff on the internet for many years now. She's all over the internet. Yeah. Yeah. It is interesting how many people called Sarah do get called to work with Sarah.
Yeah. Well, some resonance going on there.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there other things that you feel like you'd want to tell people about or share?
I think the main thing is how easy she is to work with, how flexible she is to work with, how on a personal level she's been, you know, I've really loved her working on me, but I'm just so impressed when I've had so many clients, some old, some new, that really respond to her energies and her healing. And it's so simple, but it's so flexible. It's a bit like, you know, we've got 3 colours in the colour wheel, and they make all the whole rainbow of colours. But her energy is like that. With her 3 energy rays, you can do so much. So it's a very beautiful energy to work with. Clients love it, and I feel privileged to be able to have been introduced to the system. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're so welcome. And I mean, you coined this phrase, but she is an ascended master for our time. And I think that's why she's so useful, because what she's offering, it's sort of exactly tailored for where we are right now in this evolutionary point that we're going through. And you know, the stresses on us are huge, absolutely huge. And so when like each of us find her in the way that each of us, you know, like, because those people who find her, we were supposed to find her, then it's like, oh my God, thank God. You've got those things that I needed in this really difficult, challenging, you know, world that we're living in at the moment. And it's grounding and it's expanding and it's integrating and it's this and it's that, and it's like, oh, thank God someone's helping me, you know.
And the other thing I would say, it's about the balance between, as you know, between divine masculine and divine feminine. And you know, the world's been so out of kilter with toxic masculinity, but divine masculinity is fabulous, and in so many of the religions of the world are skewed one way or the other. So I think she gives you an opportunity to connect to your own divine spark whilst bringing in masculine and feminine. And I think once we start to become in balance, we can help to project something in balance. And I want to share something that isn't Sarah, but it's sort of Sarah, because she's always with me when I go anywhere. But I went to a stone circle recently in Banbury in England, and I hadn't been there to this particular one before. And the stone circle didn't really do that much for me, but they had the king stones that ground in the energy. And there I was told to turn around and I looked at these beautiful Chiltern Hills, and I received the message that there's so much going on awful in the world, and all we ever see is, oh my God, you know, war here, or oh my God, you know, poverty over here, and it's all bad. But the earth herself is never receiving the message that, oh, you know, you are wonderful, you give us so much, thank you. And it's a bit like telling somebody who's sick, oh, you're really sick, oh, you're really sick, when we concentrate on all these negative things all the time. So with Sarah and her balance and her bringing in shadow self and her doing the balance between masculine and feminine and clearing us of old traumas from this lifetime and previous lifetimes, she gives us an opportunity to bring the earth back into balance and in a very positive way.
Yeah, I think that's such a good point that you're making there, Arya, about, you know, how much gratitude do we give for all the things that we receive. And I have to say, it sort of makes me think, last night, our son Benji, who's 9 now, and he's autistic and he's got ADHD, and he's really stressed out at the moment because he's about to start back at school and he's got a new teacher, and it's a, you know, and he just hates change. It's very common in autistic children. They just can't stand any change, and at the moment he's sleepwalking and he's really grumpy, and he was being really grumpy because there was a list up on the wall of all the things we'd done during the summer holidays, because he's just had 6 weeks off and then he's back to school on Monday, and he went, why is that still up there? And I said, it's so we can remember the good memories of you know, the things we've done in the summer holidays. And he pointed out the one, he said, oh, we didn't have good memories at the quarry because you can go swimming at the quarry, and it all went a bit wrong. And I was like, Benji, did you have to mention the one thing that you know that went wrong? What about all the other things? And could you like be grateful about that, because Mummy and Daddy worked really hard to sort of do all this for you? And then he was sort of sitting there for another couple of minutes, and then he sort of shifted and went into a different energy state. And it just reminded me, like, when you said that, and I thought, God, yeah, how much do I sit around like grumping about all the things that aren't right? And how often am I giving, like, when have I done a gratitude ceremony to the earth? Like, never. Actually, if I'm honest, and I'm like, yes, perhaps I need to address that. So I could see it so clearly when Benji was doing it last night, like, because obviously, like, we could see, like, me and Thomas is like, we're like the Gaia, like, giving everything, and he's just sitting there going, oh, that 99% of stuff was great, but what about this 1% that was just really, really crap? And I'm like, no, no, no. And I'm like thinking, yeah. And how much am I doing that? I'll have a little ponder about that. But I mean, yeah, the other thing about that divine masculine. So the other people that I see working with Sarah, they're very much on the divine feminine stuff and kind of the Rose Christ, and it's great. You know, I love all that. I love all that. But I've always seen Sarah as both, and that she's like, not that I'm trying to start a cult or anything, but she's like the next step in spirituality, because like, we don't want it to be mother world or father world, you know. It's the only way forward now is with both of us together in whatever way that works for each of us. Because I have to say, I won't start going on about it, because I want to give you a chance to do a little meditation with us. But you know, I love all this gender sort of blurring boundaries and things like that, and you know, that all feels very Sarah to me as well.
It's what makes her so relevant, isn't it, to now,
Yeah,
to the future.
yeah, absolutely. Let me just have a look. Mahala says, good point about how everyone came to get acquainted with Sarah. You guys were so lucky that she just introduced herself to you. It took me more than 3 years to discover who was behind so many weird experiences. She was playing hide and seek for so long. Yeah, and it's true. And I am really, really, it's something I've never been able to get rid of since I met her in 2006. I have been obsessed with finding new ways of telling the world about her, because it's not actually that easy to do, to sort of reach everyone and for people to, well, not everyone, but everyone who needs to hear it. And you know, and that has really been my mission, and I've never given up on that.
But to go back to that comment, I think that all these like subtle little ways that we don't observe that she's working with us is great, because if that's having an effect on lots of different people, her energy is here.
Yeah, it is.
We might not always realise it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's great when we come into consciousness about it, but it's good that she's working in these subtle ways until our consciousness is focused upon it.
Yeah, that's it. And because she's representing like an archetypal energy of the divine, and you know, and not everyone needs to know who she is.
Yeah.
But they need that. They need that energy, which she's just one face for. I'm sure there's other faces out there as well. But yeah.
Yeah.
So, would you like to do a little meditation with us?
I'll just do a nice short little one. So if you just like to relax, close your eyes if you'd like to, or lower your gaze, whatever works for you, and just feel all around you now. There's this beautiful energy of Sarah's angels. You might see they've got this lovely, beautiful white energy. I see it sort of like icing sugar white, just very soft and gentle and liquid and fluid. But however you see it, if you do see that energy is right, you might just feel their presence, or just know that they are all around you. And as they surround us, they're just sending their beautiful, gentle energy towards each and every one of us, and just gently moving any chinks of heavy energy that we might have, and just clearing us, whether it's in our chakras, whether it's in any of our physical systems, or whether it's in our aura. They're just gently sending the energy, focusing it on where it needs to be. So if you know that you've got an area that needs their energy, that needs that healing energy of her angels, just focus your attention there and let the angels do their work. But you might also just be ready and willing to receive the healing that they're sending you wherever you need it to be. And Sarah's energy too. She now introduces her beautiful version of the violet flame to you. So you might see again very deep violet, or a very subtle, beautiful silvery violet, or you might even hear her beautiful violet flame energy, or feel it inside your body. And this goes to where it needs to go. Clearing, healing, and clearing maybe something from what you've been going through recently, or the recent past, or maybe the long held past. So the angels have created the space for her to do her work now. Releasing, just let go, let go. Let go of all that you need to let go of. And that violet energy still courses through you. And you might also just want to send some of that beautiful energy down to the earth, to give thanks to Mother Earth for all that she does for us, and to send healing to where she needs it. And the angels send their attention down to the earth too. Their white energy, her violet flame, going to wherever it needs to go on the planet, in the waterways, on the land, in the air. So as you heal yourself, as you accept her healing, you're also sending healing deep into the planet. So we can give thanks to the planet, to Mother Earth, to Gaia, for all that she does for us. But Sarah's energy continues to work on you. And now she just sends her beautiful green energy. And again, you might see whatever version of green you see, if you do see the colours, it might be a deep, vibrant green, an emerald green, or it might be the spring tips of flowers and leaves in early on in the year. And you don't have to see this energy. You might feel it or hear it, or just simply know that it's there. And now Sarah wants to give you one last gift. So if you can bring your attention up to your crown area, and maybe even to your soul star chakra, but she now sends down these beautiful ribbons of violet flame energy. And inside these ribbons is written one of Sarah's mantras, which is all is well, all is well, all is well. And it's almost as if each of us is like a maypole, and we're all being given these beautiful ribbons of her violet flame with a mantra, all is well, all is well, all is well. And that's just not for how you feel now, how you feel today. All is well is a statement of purpose, it's a statement of intent. So this is like her energy weaving through your own auric field, covering it, sending out to the universe the message that all is well now, and all is well in the future. And some of you might see these ribbons as thick and beautiful, thick, lovely ribbons of energy. And for others, it might be a very fine mist, or a very fine mesh, or even beautiful lace. She's presented all of these to me, and she might present all of them to you. However you're experiencing her violet flame energy is right and perfect for you. And you can let these beautiful ribbons, this beautiful mesh of the violet flame energy, full of all is well, the statement of intent, the healing mantra, just be around you now. Really building up this beautiful cloak, this beautiful bubble of her energy. And it grounds down into the ground, her green energy also taking it down to the ground. So this is around you now, protecting you. And then we can just bring our attention back to ourselves, to our breathing, to our beautiful in-breaths and out-breaths, breathing in peace and calm. and thanking Sarah, and thanking the angels, and thanking Mother Earth, knowing that all is well, all is well, all is well. And when you're ready, just feel your feet upon the ground if you're sitting down, or your back against a chair or a couch or a bed, wherever you are, and just bring your attention once more back out into the room around you.
Thank you. That was really lovely.
Thank you.
You're a lovely channel of Sarah's energies. So powerful, Arya.
Yeah, well, I had a good teacher, Rachel.
Thank you. So if people want to book a session with you, come and see more about you, where can they find you?
I've got a website, as most of our websites are always in the process of being updated, but it's amethysttiger.com, or they can contact me via Facebook or just via email with Arya, ARYA, at amethysttiger.com.
Fantastic. And if anybody wants to find out more about the Sarah Healing System, I've got stuff on my website, rachelgoodwin.dk, and just look under the Sarah heading and you'll see Sarah Healers and all different things on there you can find out more about. I keep meaning to write a blog about it. I've never actually done that. It's on my list of things to do, but like I was thinking about that actually during the meditation. I was thinking I still haven't got my new book on there. That's it. That website. So it's a lot of work to update them, isn't it? And you don't do it like continuously. It sort of gets reborn every now and then. It sort of gets a good shake up. So it's been fantastic talking to you today.
Well, thank you for the opportunity, and just blessings to you all.
Yes, blessings to everyone. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
See you next time. Bye.
Yes, bye.
Bye.